The sound of metal striking metal rings out dry and sharp. In the dense darkness, muscular bodies repeatedly slam into steel walls, creating a scene so tense it feels suffocating. Rewind the timeline a few hours to dusk. The control team quietly sets up their gear at the quiet forest edge. They're standing in an orchard that now resembles a devastated field. The ground is overturned in large patches, and tree trunks are left standing bare, scratched and broken in the open. This chart shows the core biological problem driving this damage. Wild boars are no longer isolated foragers. Because they multiply so quickly, a small baseline population rapidly compounds into a massive, uncontrolled peak. Tonight's mission ignores the individual animal. The objective is to eliminate the entire self-replicating herd in a single, perfectly timed capture. Against a highly alert herd of this size, traditional small cage traps are nearly useless.
This 3D diagram outlines the countermeasure required: a heavy-duty steel corral trap system. The reinforced panels and wide entry are designed for mass containment. Crews manually lock these panels together, closing the perimeter into a seamless circle to hold the entire herd. When a biological threat grows this heavy and numerous, human containment structures have to scale up dramatically to match its raw physical power. Now the waiting begins. Hundreds of meters away from the trap, the team watches the tree line from monitors inside a dark truck. The center of the trap holds an automated feeder. For several days, it has dispensed corn at exact fixed intervals to match the time the herd usually appears. This graph compares feeding repetition and caution. As the daily meals consistently arrive on schedule, the herd's natural situational awareness and caution level plummets. By 2 a.m., the forest is freezing. A cold wind slips through the leaves, cutting through the absolute silence. The success of the trap depends on the boars ignoring the unusual signs around them. Their focus is drawn entirely to the food source, letting a conditioned response overrule their natural survival instincts. Suddenly, there is movement. Dozens of massive, shadowy shapes quietly creep out of the dark brush and step into the clearing to feed. The team sits completely still, waiting for the lead sow to enter the circle first. If she remains outside, the rest of the herd may bolt before the trap can be activated. Then they keep waiting. Every single boar must cross the threshold. Leaving even one animal behind ensures the area will be repopulated within a few seasons. Finally, the entire herd reaches a moment of peak vulnerability. They are completely absorbed in feeding, no longer paying attention to the open exit behind them. The operator sends the signal. The heavy steel drop gates slam shut instantly, shattering the silence of the night with a decisive boom. Hours of stillness end in a fraction of a second, as a remote command locks the destructive force inside before a single animal can react. Dawn arrives, replacing the frantic cries of the night with cold reality. Inside the steel circle, more than a dozen large wild boars crowd together. Standing nearby, the physical danger is obvious. The boars raise their bristles, and the sound of sharp tusks scraping against the steel bars creates a harsh, metallic rasp. Catching them solves the first problem. Now the crew faces a high-risk logistical challenge, moving a dozen aggressive, panicked animals out of the trap and into a vehicle. This top-down schematic outlines the extraction setup. A transport trailer backs directly to the trap entrance, connected by a rigid steel chute. Using protective barriers, the team guides the animals forward. The narrow corridor prevents stampedes, funneling the herd one by one to limit panic. As the final boars enter, the transport vehicle trembles under the massive combined weight of the entire captured herd. Responsible wildlife control is a meticulous blend of preparation, behavioral science, and heavy engineering. By systematically managing this threat, humans can restore a rare sense of peace to agricultural lands.